Hello guys, and welcome to another episode at Surrey Auto Works. So in this one we're working on a very special project with the Heritage Parts Centre. That's right, we've got their MkII Golf in. It needs some love and attention. There's a little bit of welding and there's some other bits and pieces that need to be taken care of. So let's jump in it, drive it around the front, get it on a ramp and chat to you what we're doing in this one. Not forgetting an immobiliser. Well, starts and runs okay. So it's a 1992 J-Reg Golf driver. From the information I know, it belonged to an old boy that had it, and it was quite a narrow entrance to where he kept it, so unfortunately it's had some damage down both sides. I believe Heritage are getting that sorted out elsewhere. Otherwise, it's not in bad nick. We'll give it a clean up at the end, but the main issue is some welding work that needs to be done underneath. So let's get it up in the air and take a look. So right, what we're looking at is around the seals at the back. It's obviously had some welding and plate work done around here, but there's a little bit of rust here, and the same over on this side around here, and there's a nice hole up in there. We need to deal with that. We'll grab a torch. We're going to have to probably drop the axle out the way so we can deal with anything around here. Yeah, nothing too difficult. To be honest with you, we might take this arch off as well. It looks like someone's done some previous repairs here and plated it up. So Heritage have said it doesn't need to look immaculate. It's just got to be practical. But obviously they supply these parts for repairing arches, so let's get on the phone to them once we know what we need and get the bits ordered up and sent out to us to fix their own car. Looks like the same on this side as well. So yeah, I think we'll get both arches off and we'll deal with what needs to be dealt with. Technically it only needs an MOT so they can use it. Much like most of your cars that are out there, you just want to keep them on the road. Don't want to spend too much money on them. This isn't going to be a full restoration job, so yes, just doing what's needed and keeping these cars going. So tools we think we're going to need: some levering screwdrivers, some screwdrivers, Phillips screwdriver and an impact gun. Yeah, I think we're going to have to prise this off across here. It's seen better days on the arch. We might tidy this up for them as well, and I can show you a little technique for tidying up some plastics. But yeah, let's dig into it and get these wheels off. So removing the cover, we've got what, 17mm nut. Buzz all the nuts off. Gives us a bit more better access in there. So you've got the Phillips screws that run round on a Mark 1 and Mark 2. Oh, there's some rivets and there's screws and there's mud. So yeah, let's dig all this off. Let's see what comes off. Sometimes they break, sometimes we might have to cut them off. As you can see, it's time to get the arches off, but what lies beneath is some hidden sins. That's the arch off, and it reveals some hidden sins. So yeah, we'll just tack some metal on there and make it look like it's been welded. Yeah, and then it's got this here as well. So, especially on classic cars, you need to keep the inner arch clean, or as this happens, it retains all the moisture with the onto the metal and ends up rusting out. Same kind of thing here, yeah. That's not too bad actually. Yeah, that's okay. So we'll clean that up. This I think is actually all solid. Yeah. Okay. This bit is not solid. So yeah, where it's been welded up to there, it's then continued to rust out. So ideally, you want to cut this out. Yeah, no drain hole to drain any of this out. But that's okay. So yeah, we'll cut this out. We'll grind this back and tidy that up. Yeah, there's the original paint behind it. So, oh, there's the original holes.
These are like the holes for the quarter arch.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's obviously got the full arches. So we drill out the rivets as well, try not to heat them up too much, and then prise them off so you don't damage the plastic arch. And then we can drill the rest of those out, so we will be able to put them back in. But again, the top of this arch needs a damn good clean, or it will continue to rust out like this. So I think a couple of replacement panels for here, we'll definitely make one up in there, and I think we'll cut that out and we'll get a complete arch kit from Heritage, so we can then, yeah, cut that piece out and we'll put a piece in, yeah, make a plate inside there and just do it properly. So it's all about preservation, not restoration. We want to knock this out as quickly as possible. Yeah, it's been plated up in there as well, hasn't it? So one other thing on our pre-inspection, let's call it, is there's a bit of play in this wheel bearing. These are actually adjustable as well, so we can take that up. But we'll get that wheel off. We're just debating about taking this arch off, but I think we will as well, just to clean all this out. It's got, yeah, some of the old seam sealer there. This is good, all pretty solid, but I just want to check what's behind this. Right, so we were just talking about this here, and the reason why this continued to rust out is because it's got the original piece behind there still. So ideally, to stop any rust, you want to cut everything out. So we're now going to cut the rest of this off, and then we're just putting our new panel going right the way across there, so it won't have any of this horrible rust inside. You can see that there, trying to move the camera around, there we go. And therefore we have all new nice metal to weld to. There's nothing hidden behind there, and it can have a nice new panel that we're hand fabricating and put into place. And then we've got a new replacement arch coming from Heritage, so that should have the right contours and bends for this piece here. And then we'll make a new flat panel running down on the inside and join that to the outside piece. So day number 2 on the Golf, and as you can see, Brian has cut a larger section out on this. There was too many plates going on there, so we decided to cut that out and do it properly. The best way to remove any rust is to cut everything off and get good metal. So that's what we've done at the minute. Don't leave anything else in behind, because it will rust from the inside out. He's also cut out the back there, so at the moment he's just hand fabricating. Cue Brian. And then once the arch comes in, we can then cut the pieces that we need out of it to get that on there. But yeah, it's all about getting the angles right to make it fit as nicely as you can. We actually knocked off all of the horrible undersealy stuff that someone else had put on there. It's revealed a couple of little holes which we will just weld up. We're going to actually stone chip this and into the arch just to preserve this. It's all solid, it's definitely not pretty. The welds are pretty dire, to be honest with you. Obviously not our work, but it's a preservation, and we want to make this last as long as we can with what it's got going on there at the minute. Much like you probably do at home on your own car if you're just trying to keep it on the road. So whilst we wait for that arch to turn up, we have jumped on to removing the axle, so undoing the bolts here, supporting it with that stand, and then Brian's done the same on this side and actually removed the bracketry off so we can gain access to the nice little hole slash repair that we need to do up here. So just working on cleaning that all up right way around so we can make good of it. Got some rusty bits inside, so what we can't cut out we will treat as well, and then yeah, get that plated up so this is all secure for the mounting bracket for the rear axle. If you've got any questions about what we're doing, don't forget to drop a comment below. So, as you can see, Brian has now done all of the welding underneath there. He's just belt sanding it and tidying up. But that's now all done. He also did a rust treatment up inside before he put the plating on. So that will last another 20 years. And we'll deal with tidying up all the rest of it. But that axle can go back up and on once he's put a bit of etch primer on all the bare metal, and then like I said, we will then stone chip all of this. So as if like magic, it's all been etch primed now and ready for some stone chips. So again, this isn't a proper factory look, we're just tidying up, preserving. Put some red oxide across that, and yeah, just making good of what it is, like you would do at home. That's what this whole project is about. We've taken all the wheels off, so we decided it wasn't worth messing around, and we're going to stick 4 new tyres on this as well for heritage. Hopefully they're going to get some miles on the clock and all use it in the coming months. So yeah, most important thing is 4 good tyres. So they all are looking a little low on the inside and outside edge, as well as they're old as well. Okay, so first things first, remove the dust cap, and with this special tool you can take the valve out. That will release all the air out the tyre, and as that does that, we can put it onto the machine, which will break the bead off of the wheel. Sometimes they come off really easy, other times they can be a right pig, but that's all off. On the top of the machine you've got clamps. Now what we do is actually grip that into the back of the wheel there to hold the wheel. Some people do it the other way so it comes on the inside, but we're going to grip it onto that, so you kind of just drop it down onto that as the clamps work their way in. As they come in, drop it there, and that secures the wheel in place. Then we bring in this, and sorry, trying to do this one-handed. Push the button to lock that, so this now stays in place. Then using the tyre lever, you go in like that, over like that, and lever it over. I normally flick it back a little bit and then forwards, and that will ease the tyre off. Give it a bit of a tap and the bottom will come up as well, and then same process again. This goes in right the way down to the bottom, up and over, and bring that round, and that's the tyre released. Push the button, take that out of the way, new tyre, grab some tyre soap and put that round as well. This just eases the tyre into position. Ideally you want to line up the dots with the valve, it helps with balancing. Not essential. Now sometimes you can get these on just by forcing the first part on. There you go. Second one will always be a little bit tighter, can use the machine to ease it on. Watch your fingers and slowly take it round, and that's that tyre on. Release it from the machine and put the valve back in and inflate the tyre.
So here you can see all the panels are now going on. Brian has cut down the rear arch so it fits into place and drilled some spot welds holes in it so we can weld it.
Okay, so as Brian is welding up the back, I actually notice all the touching in that's been done on this car right the way down the side. So Heritage have mentioned that they were talking to somebody about potentially painting this, but I've got another idea. So this is all about preservation and, you know, kind of what you could do at home as well. So I actually got rid of a load of the touch-up that's all down this side, and it doesn't look bad. So I'll get some stuff and I'll show you exactly what I'm doing to remove that. And yeah, let's preserve the originality of the car. It's up to them if they want to paint it afterwards, but I reckon we can make it look 10 times better than what it does at the minute. So the repairs are nearly complete on the Golf now. Brian has knocked out all the welding on the back. He's just making good of the metal work, front and back. It's turned out really nice. So it's now time to look for that paint code. We need to do a little bit of blending with the paint. So that's actually found in the boot on this little white sticker. But whilst I was in the boot, I just noticed the spare wheel. So let me just get that camera down there. It's very bald. And yeah, I believe Chris might be bombing around in this, and if he needs a spare, this one's not only punctured, very bald on the edge. So we're going to pick the best out of the 4 tyres that are on here. There is actually one good one, and stick that on the spare as well, so he's got a good spare. That's one thing you should always look at. Check you've got the toolkit, and check you've got a good spare as well. Hopefully you never need it, but it's there if you do.
Okay, so there's lots going on, but we've decided to actually take care of the arches for the MkII Golf. So at the minute Chris is sanding down all of the scratch marks that are in those, and then we're going to do a textured paint on them, so he's got rid of 99% of the scratches, and we can make these look a ton better, just doing our extra bit for heritage and the preservation of the MkII Golf.
Guys, brought a lovely Golf back.
You've given it a wash, Gaz.
I've given it more than a wash. She's had pretty much a full detail.
Nice.
We've managed to save all things like the arches.
Yeah.
So if you remember in one of your last videos, if you haven't seen that, go and check it out. It had all scuffs down the side.
Yeah.
Again on the plastic moulding, so we've done a textured finish on all of that. Basically, the old guy had tried to cover up blemishes and marks, but actually they weren't that bad. So we've managed to get most of those out and polish it up and touch in the marks, and a bit of thinners works wonders. We've also put a new set of tyres on it as well. They're a little bit perished, a little bit low, so we did that.
Yeah.
Painted the centre caps as well, because the paint had come off of those. Yeah, just brightens it all up. We've given it a clean inside. We've done the same on the other side. Obviously the most important bit, we did all the welding work.
The welding, yeah.
Yes, welding work, and it now has a fresh MOT. And then under the bonnet, we've given it a clean under there as well, and just a general check over. And she now looks
Wow, looks Look at that.
Like that. Very original, very nice, just clean and respectable.
It looks like you could turn up at a show actually, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Pop the bonnet and
Definitely.
hold your head up high.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think it's been well looked after, and I'm sure you guys will look after it as well now.
Yeah.
We just wanted to add our flair to it, make sure it is the best it could be.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's all right, no worries. And there we go, Heritage have it back. They're going to tuck it away for the night.
Thank you very much.
No worries.